Just in the Sports Center, Adam Schefter reporting the Jets are trading quarterback Justin Fields to the Chiefs for a 2027 sixth-round pick. Patrick Mahomes, he's recovering from ACL surgery. Fields would get plenty of reps in the offseason and would start if Mahomes isn't ready. You might remember the Jets recently traded for Geno Smith to be their starter. Our NFL analyst, Mina Kimes, is with us. Okay, Mina, so Justin Fields to Kansas City. Do you like that fit in KC?
Makes a ton of sense for both sides. Let's start with the Chiefs. Justin Fields instantly gives them a capable backup, a backup who might need to start. We're waiting to hear about, Patrick Mahomes' recovery timeline. But to me, when you look around the league, this is one of the more qualified backups at an extremely reasonable price. The Jets are eating some of his $10 million salary, so the Chiefs are really only paying, I think, about $3 million. This is a low-cost, high-upside move, in my opinion. It can also install some packages for Fields. They haven't been able to use quarterback sneaks with Patrick Mahomes. Well, now you got a quarterback who you can run sneaks with, so that's something I would like to see. From Fields' perspective, I think and we're going to say this a lot, it's going to be overused, is hoping for a Sam Darnold type trajectory. And when I think about Darnold, I think about not even where he was in Minnesota, because Fields isn't going to play that much. I think about his year in between the Panthers and the Vikings when he was with the 49ers, and he obviously didn't play very much, but I do think that experience was helpful for him. Very few quarterbacks, very few places in the world that are better to learn than Kansas City, backing up Patrick Mahomes, so I think this is a great opportunity for Justin Fields at this point in his career.
That's a really good point. Generally, Mina Kimes drops dimes for us here on SportsCenter, but you know what? We're going to make Mina a matchmaker, because there are a number of free agents out there with some questions as to where they'll end up this season. So, best match, you think, Mina, for Kirk Cousins?
I'm going to go with the Cleveland Browns. If we're doing musical chairs with the quarterbacks, we are running out of spots. Arizona, perhaps? I don't know. But if he wants to start, or a chance to, Cleveland makes the most sense. They have made steps to improve their offensive line this offseason that I like. They do still need to add receiving weapons. But I actually thought Kirk Cousins showed some improvement the farther he got from his Achilles injury. You even saw comfort playing under center at the end in Atlanta. And I think for Cleveland, he instantly makes this offense more competitive. I can't imagine it'll cost much money. To me, there are very few starters left, and this match makes too much sense.
Okay, let's talk
All right,
receivers.
let's move on to...
Yeah, let's go receivers. How about Juwan Jennings?
Yeah, give me the Chiefs, who we just talked about. Juwan Jennings, to me, they call him third and Juwan in San Francisco for a reason. He is a reliable target. He is where he needs to be on third down. He runs good routes. He's got great hands. He can also block, too, something you saw on display in San Francisco that I feel the Chiefs could benefit from. And wide receiver is such a question mark right now in Kansas City, including the availability of Rashee Rice next season, if there's a potential suspension. So this is something they should look to improve. And to me, Jennings is a low-cost way for them to bring some veteran experience in for Patrick Mahomes.
What about Deebo Samuels? Now, listen, I know he's often injured, but when he is healthy, you want to talk about yak. What do you think is the best match for him?
Let's go Carolina Panthers here. So Deebo, obviously it's not 2021 anymore, but I actually think in Washington you saw he still has the ability to get you yards after the catch. And when I look at this Panthers receiving group, Ted McMillan, Jalen Coker, Xavier Legette, you see guys who can win downfield, but I feel Bryce Young could benefit from having an underneath option. Deebo can also add, of course, to the run game, which I think has to be an important part of that offense moving forward. Can't imagine it would cost a lot of money, but the Panthers do have the cap space to get this.
That we got over the weekend. Let's check this out here. Sneaky big news is that Dallas Goedert is coming back to the Philadelphia Eagles. This wasn't one of those first wave free agency deals. It took a little bit. But Goddard does sign a $7 million deal per Adam Schefter, and by doing so, they avoided a dead cap hit of nearly $20 million. Allows them a little bit more flexibility. Goddard coming off a year where he had a career best 60 catches, and he is back with the Eagles. We bring in Damian Woody and Dominique Foxworth and Jeremy Fowler. Damian Woody, are the Eagles now, with Goddard back and some of the additions and restructuring they did, are they better or worse going into this season than they were where they ended last year?
I mean, listen, as we stand here on March 16th, no, they're not better. They've had, guys who've kind of graduated the program on the defensive side of the football. that have moved on. And then when you look at some of the other changes that's been made along the coaching staff, their Hall of Fame offensive line coach Jeff Stoutland is no longer with the organization. You look at they got a new offensive coordinator, first-time play caller, and with Mannion, Sean Mannion. And so when I look at all the changes that's been going on with the Philadelphia Eagles, there are teams in the NFC East right now that are lurking. Yeah. They're lurking in the background. They've made additions on what the defensive side of the ball, offense. There are a couple teams, the Dallas Cowboys, the Washington Commanders, who are nipping at the Philadelphia Eagles right now.
All right, let's get to that. Nick, the NFC East was really the Eagles all season. The Cowboys made it interesting midway through and then fell off. What do you make of the NFC East? And is it Eagles and the other three, or do you have another team that you would say was in that conversation?
Yeah. No, I really like the Commanders stepping up this year, assuming Jaden Daniels is going to be healthy throughout the season. And that defense has gotten improved. They added Amik Roberts to the secondary. They got a bunch of aggressive edge pass rushers, and they're switching the defense to a more aggressive blitz style, turnover creation style of defense when they brought in Durante Jones to be their coordinator, who learned under the Vikings. So you're going to see some crazy things on that side of the ball, which I think will help them a bunch. So as long as their offense can stay healthy and contribute and produce, I think their defense will create turnovers, and they could give the Eagles some trouble.
Jeremy Fowler, we bring you in. I saw the news on the bottom line. It was like Eagles transaction. I'm like, A.J. Brown? No, it's Goddard. Okay, where are we at with the A.J. Brown deal? Is he going to be an Eagle at the end of this whole run, or is he still being shopped around, or is he still being on the trade block?
Peter, a deal is not dead, but it is a very light pulse right now. They tried to talk with teams last week. They fielded calls. The New England Patriots were involved. A deal was ultimately not reached. So the Eagles kind of have to regroup here. Do you want to trade him now? Do you want to wait till closer to June 2nd where they can save a lot of money on their salary cap? Those are all discussions that will be ongoing. The belief league-wide right now is that A.J. Brown would welcome a new change. And the Eagles want a lot for this trade, Peter. First-round pick and more. They've been asking for a lot. Nobody's been willing to meet those demands just yet.
I will tell you this, as I put on my little reporter hat, that there was a report this weekend that the Rams made inquiries. I can confirm that is true. The Rams did call about A.J. Brown. No deal was made, but they did ask about it. And the Eagles said, no, we're not going to give him for what you're offering. So, Neek, I go to you. Should the Eagles be looking to shop A.J. Brown? What do you make of this? And are the Patriots the most natural fit?
Yeah, I mean, from a talent standpoint, of course not. I think A.J. Brown's incredible, but it seemed like there was some friction there for a while. And once you start talking about trading a player, it's really hard to reintegrate them back into the system. It'll be interesting to see what the Eagles do in the draft. That might tell us what their plans are for that June 2nd deadline that Jeremy Fowler was pointing to there. But I do think that this team is going to be super talented either way. And, of course, the Patriots are a number one destination for A.J. Brown. From what I understand, they offered the most, but it still wasn't enough. So maybe they just need to wait out the rest of the field, and eventually the Eagles will come around and make that deal.
All right, we'll be staying tuned. Plenty more on that one we'll be watching. Meanwhile, on planet Earth, this player's name